It was near the same time. So I was out of radio for about 2 years whenever I.
Can we talk about why?
Why what?
Why you were out of radio?
No, I would rather not.
All right.
I'd
Just
rather.
a question.
Yeah, I think I can. He's not there anymore.
Well, hello. Why are you laughing so hard about that, Derick?
I just love the intro, man.
Do you?
I do.
So far, that's 2 out of the 3 love the intro, but here we are with the same intro. Yeah, hello, everybody, and welcome to episode 18, I believe, of the Coffee and Ketchup podcast. We are reporting live from the basement, the multi-million-dollar studio. We are just growing by leaps and bounds. We're having a good old time. I think we're up to 371 subscribers, well over 1,000 watch hours, well over 5,000 views for all of our videos. Tons of comments, tons of likes, just great support. We sure greatly appreciate it. If you have not subscribed, which are about half the people who watch our stuff, weirdly enough, down in the bottom right, so mirror land, down in here somewhere, there should be our logo. If you click on that, you can subscribe right there. Subscribe there. You don't even got to click down here nowhere. There's a little button, little logo down at the bottom. You can do it right there. We sure would greatly appreciate it. Make sure you subscribe to the channel, like the video, comment on anything you'd like to hear us talk about. Anything like that, we are definitely got open ears and open minds to conversation because we are running out of topics here lately. There's just not a lot going on in the world.
That is not true.
We've been, I think we're heavily relying on Brian today for some content.
That is not the usual case, you're saying?
No. Usually it's all me.
Yeah, you're not the engine.
No.
I got a question.
Come on with it.
Being that it's October, Halloween is at the end of the month on the 31st. How do y'all feel about talking about ghost stories? Or even deeper than ghost stories, what about like real life, real scary stuff that's true?
You'd have to give me an example of like real life, real scary stuff.
All right, so let's get off on this right
Let's
here.
get it. I like it. Let's go.
I've seen some things in my life.
Oh God. Never mind. I'll change my mind. Is this more like the alien flyover
Yes.
thing? Oh,
yeah,
God.
man.
Oh,
yeah.
Oh my God. All
Let's
right, come
talk
on.
about
Let's talk about it.
I want to tell you this.
It took 18 episodes, but he finally got us to cave and do one of these.
I ran into my former roommate,
Okay.
who I lived with during all those
Getting high.
appearances.
No. You mean the getting high?
Yeah, we were doing that. Knew that was gonna happen.
I don't know if the camera caught that or not.
I think I saw her in the bottom.
The cat's definitely gonna be on camera. Listen. Okay, come on.
So
For
like
all the you say. Hey, that's our board. Don't knock that over. You say all the appearances, but
yeah.
we always forget to like preface that with while you were getting
Okay.
ridiculously high.
Okay.
Every day.
Fair
all
enough.
day.
Fair enough.
Anyways, come on.
Being deprived of sleep and food, which is apparently necessary for the human body.
Yes, for the brain to
Okay.
properly function. Yeah.
But what if
What if?
the lack of that stuff,
Okay.
and hear me out now, what if the lack of that stuff allows your brain to kick off to another level and lets you begin to experience stuff that's actually there that you never experience in a normal day-to-day?
Delusion.
Yeah.
No, it doesn't. It lets you experience delusion. Yeah.
So what is a delusion?
Something that's not real, something that your mind is fabricating.
What if it's not fabricated?
Not actually of reality.
What if it's not
What
fabricated?
is your argument and what is your evidence that it's not fabricated?
I'm not wanting to argue about it. I'm just wanting to talk about it.
What is your talking point and your evidence that it's not fabricated by your mind out of this delusion and not properly functioning brain?
What's the chances of you and I having the same delusion?
Y'all want the definition of delusion, no?
Sure.
Characterized by or holding false beliefs or judgments about external reality that are held despite
incontrovertible
evidence to the contrary, typical of a symptom of a mental condition.
This is not often said here on this podcast, but let me be the first to say it today. Thank you, Derick. Thank you.
I felt that was only the right thing to do.
It just depends, man. See, you're talking about two people that know each other. If you want to talk about the real crazy stuff, is when two people who've never met, like opposite sides of the world, have the same dream or like same kind of delusion.
Okay,
or whatever.
I can get that.
And even in this situation, I mean, y'all, you can't even vividly and accurately tell me what y'all used to talk about before y'all both shared this same dream or delusion or whatever, or shared this same experience.
We talked about nothing.
You had never met.
No, yeah, of course.
So you had talked before.
For sure, we
But
grew
you
up
were high.
together. Yeah.
And you have no idea what you talked about before this instance happened.
I don't understand the question.
I don't either.
You don't know what you were talking about the days leading up to. What could have set things in your mind to think similarly. Yeah.
Okay, no, we never specifically mentioned what we saw. That was not a possibility. It was always a possibility of there's things going on out in these woods.
Sure.
Let's go see what's going on out here.
Okay.
That was the gist of the conversation. Okay. There was never I bet there's going to be a three-legged goat out there.
Okay.
That comes in the form of an alien.
Sure.
Because then if we went out there and saw a three-legged goat in the form of an alien, I would get your point.
Right.
But we saw things that we both saw and both later described to each other multiple occasions. And that's
how later?
Later, what do you mean?
Like, so you described the
time span
between seeing and then describing it to each other later.
Oh, that night.
Okay.
That night. Actually, one of the times I was looking, and this is one of the made the most impression on me. And we talked about this last week at the gym.
I didn't talk about it with him at the gym.
No, he and I did.
I've never been to the gym.
My co-conspirator. I'm looking at this thing, and I say, "Do you see that?" And he said, "Yeah." And I said, "What do you see?" And he described what I was seeing, which was like a stand-up mirror. Mm-hmm. You know that you get what I'm saying. It rocks back and forth. To get a different angle on it. It was something that looked like that, but there was these beings jumping in and out of it. And when they would jump into it, they would disappear when they would jump out of it. And it was lit up. It was like a light. It was radiant. And they would jump out of it, and they would be out there dancing. And they weren't human form, I'm telling you. And he would tell me what I was seeing. And I was like, you got to be kidding me. And then I would say, like, and they're dancing. He goes, yeah, they're dancing. There's about 8 or 9 of them. And I would be seeing about 8 or 9 of them.
I'm glad you quit abusing drugs. I'll say that. And what I mean by that is that's scary.
That's my whole point. Thank you. That's my whole point. That's why I want to talk about it. And I know we don't talk about a lot of. We've agreed we would keep certain topics off the table.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
I'm not wanting to go into a certain topic that we've agreed to keep off the table. So if you want to scrap this, that's why I said we can scrap it.
No, it's all right. I'm trying to figure out what topic.
The religious topic.
Oh, okay.
You know what I'm saying? Because I don't want.
I guess you could go that way with it.
Because that's how it makes sense to me. Mm-hmm. Is because of from what I believe and what I have read and studied and been taught and whatnot, there's things going on that we cannot see.
Sure.
Angels and demons, okay?
Yeah,
that's what I believe. I don't believe that's fairy tale. I don't believe that's storybook. I don't believe that's made up. And if you do, I'm okay with you believing that. I'm not here to change your mind. I'm just here to state what I believe. So if that is true,
Okay.
why do I not have an open mind to think, what if I was allowing my brain or whatever to open up into that level that we are not able to see, almost zipped back the veil and peeked inside of it due to the influence of the drugs? Mm-hmm. What if that's possible?
I can't say that it's not possible.
Okay.
You have to remember, though, especially when you start talking about, and even if you're not just doing meth, if you're staying up for long periods of time, if you are doing crystal meth to be specific, brain scans will show that using of crystal meth will contribute to the same brain scans. They look almost identical to the same brain scans of people with paranoid schizophrenia.
I understand.
Now, if you're going to credit the drugs with giving you access to this same kind of vision or insight to stuff that very well could be real. You know what I mean? Like, I'm definitely not going to try to, like, argue, because I agree. I think that there's stuff going on that, we can't see, angels, demons, however you want to describe it. But if you're going to contribute to drugs, looking into that same kind of stuff, do we then also contribute and put weight to two paranoid schizophrenics in a room and what they can come up with?
I think my biggest.
See, that's I contributed to more of it's a mental health thing. It's a mental illness.
Okay.
Not saying that it couldn't be a profound experience, and not saying that those things can't necessarily be seen. But as a general rule, kind of umbrella statement, I would say it's a mental health thing and it's not real because of the way the brain scans happen. Now, I'm not saying that you and your buddy didn't see this stuff. I was not there. I don't have the education to argue that point. Maybe you did see something.
Derek, what'd you have?
I think my whole thing is that, and I'd like to say this, and in my opinion, I'd be fine with us moving on so we don't give it too much airtime with the subject matter. Is that if both of y'all experienced it at the same time, and I'm telling Chris in this case, I'm telling Chris what I'm seeing, and Chris is already seeing it, and he's saying that's exactly what I see, and you're obviously being truthful. Why would you lie about that? The two of you, to each other. So yeah, I think you opened up something that you really didn't want to dance into.
That's exactly
you really didn't.
That's exactly what I'm saying.
Welcome is what I'm trying to say. Sad thing is that there are people out there that do welcome that, and that's why I say we can skip to the next topic if y'all want to. I'm good with that.
Well, in the essence of skipping to the next topic actually kind of has something to do with you, Derek.
Yeah, Derek.
Yeah. So I guess the best way to say this is, so what we do is we come together, the three of us get together. This is for everyone out there, and we say, okay, let's touch on some topics. That's the way we've been doing it the last few weeks. Brian got some input from a wise man, and we tried something different. Yeah, not this wise man. So anyway,
did you say white man? You
wise
said white man.
Wise white man.
Established in '88. So anyway, Brian says this morning, as he always does, we need some material. Not that he wanted me to divulge the material to him, but I told him I got nothing. So when Chris gets over here, every week when Chris gets over here, Brian says, hey, let's talk about this, and we lightly touch on it. Chris says this, and they look at me and say, Derek, what you got? And I say, I got nothing. I don't have anything.
Every time
it goes. So whenever I do have something, I think it was 2 episodes when I did have something, 2 or 3 episodes ago, when I did have something that I was saving for y'all. Y'all were both shocked that I actually did have something. And that I, released it during the episode.
Oh, that episode. Yeah. The infamous episode.
Yeah, I think it was 2 episodes ago.
Yeah.
So anyway,
No, we were smelling what you were putting down.
That's why Brian's the engine, and then you're the hello guy, and I'm just along for the ride. Because
Hello guy.
I'd never come up with any material.
Well, you kind of do.
Yeah, you do.
You kind of do.
And you're so good at playing off of the material or the ideas that we come up with, you know? You have some great insight sometimes.
Here's the problem. You don't realize the material that you have.
It just doesn't come to me.
Well, it does, but I don't think it comes to you in the sense of we need to talk about this on the podcast. Yeah. Last night, after Georgia put it on Kentucky, you came home from work and had some things going on. Mm-hmm. What was happening? Because I had sent you a text.
Yeah, you did.
As I often do.
We're all excited, Derick.
As I often do, I'll send you a text on Saturday night.
Yeah.
How's it going?
And I told you it was rough.
Yeah.
In so many words.
It
was rough. And then I didn't get into it with you, and we talked a little bit when I got home. So for those that don't know, I do a radio show every Saturday night from 7 until midnight, the Classic Country Jukebox. We
don't have Sam Hunt on that, do we?
No. we do not.
Sam Hunt's getting torched in the comments for the last video.
Which is deserving.
Sure. Thank you, Celine.
So anyway.
You're the most famous country talker.
So I get to work last night, and all the music is loaded. It's on the computer, so you can look and you can see everything that's in there from all day long. The whole log, as I like to call it. So it just started spinning. This will make sense to you. It just started spinning, and the screen got real light after I got there.
Buffering.
Thank you.
Buffering.
So it was buffering.
Sure.
At the end of a song, and I tried to fix it. I tried to hit something to get it the way it said retry, cancel, or switch to. So I hit switch to, and it didn't do anything. Everything I tried, it wouldn't do anything. So I had to, again, my show doesn't start till 7. This is at 6:20. So I had to play a song off of not from the computer. I had to throw a song on there. I restarted the computer, and it worked for like 2 songs. So anyway, I'm on the phone then trying to get some help. So right around 7 o'clock, everything gets resolved, we think. The gentleman that logged on remotely and he said, I've got to step away for a little while. If it messes up again, text me back. I'll log back on and we can fix it. I said, okay, cool. So I know more than play the first song, the opening song for the show, and play the second song, Poncho and Lefty, by the way. I start playing that one.
He ain't never
heard Poncho and Lefty. So, and for those that don't know, it's Pancho is the way it's spelled. Go figure. So then it messes up. It messes up again. It messes up again.
I'm trying to be so serious.
So I have to go on the air and say, we're having some technical difficulties. I play a song, and the way that I'm playing the songs, I can only play one at a time. Where you can on the other, you can line it up, and it just rolls, and you jump in there and talk, and then it plays the next song. So anyway,
kind of cue it up.
Yes, exactly. Mm-hmm. Thank you. So I'm having to cue it up as I'm talking between every song. That's a lot of talking. So this goes on from 7 o'clock until 8:30 when the guy finally, no offense, obviously, when he was finally able to get back home, log in, and work his magic behind the scenes and get it working. It was an hour and 35 minutes of me talking after every song. 4-minute song, talking. 3-minute, 55-second song, talking. Anyway, and I couldn't answer the phones. I'm just stressing out. I didn't call the general manager, and I'm like, dude, how long do you want me to do this? Because this is killing me. This is rough. Having to talk after every song.
No, I mean, you don't really do anything in your life that requires a lot of talking. It's got to be tough for you. You run a radio show and you're on a podcast. Talking, I could see where talking would be not something that you're used to.
That is tiresome. That will wear you out. Well, I tell you what.
Next thing you're going to tell me you don't actually build furniture.
So
And listen, as you're talking though, you're trying to get the next song ready. So you're trying to do two things at one time while carrying a conversation into thousands upon thousands of listeners.
So
it's probably just thousands.
So it was extremely painful, but nobody gave me a hard time. Everybody was, when they once I started answering the phone again, everybody was, good, and which that's how our listeners are. And I've already said that we're not affiliated with the radio station in any way whatsoever doing
Numerous
this podcast.
times.
Okay, I just want to throw that out there too.
For sure.
Anyway, I could feel myself just getting hot. I'm like going, it was embarrassing. It was almost embarrassing.
There you go.
Computers are going to have issues, and it was glitching, and it continued to glitch, but the brain guy, my buddy, got it fixed again. He was.
Thank God for him.
Yeah. I was super, super happy when I texted him back.
You was about ready to play some Johnny Paycheck, weren't you? Take this, Jones.
I did play it last night, but I couldn't do that. I've been in radio too long.
Yeah.
It's way too long.
Yeah.
I did see something the other day in 2010. I think it was. It popped up on my Facebook. That's when I left radio. And then I came back in 2012 because I saw a memory. Yeah,
okay.
It was near the same time. So I was out of radio for about 2 years.
Can we talk about why?
Why what?
Why you were out of radio?
No, I would rather not.
All right, just a question.
I think I can. He's not there anymore. The guy that I reported to, so his name I won't mention his name.
Yeah, we ain't got to get no specifics.
Well, we'll call him Billy. So
Billy,
I went into work one day and one Saturday, and I got my check is what it was, and I looked at it and I was like, something's not right. My pay's not right. So I went to what did I say his name?
Billy.
I went to Billy and I said,
"Hey, Billy, you got a minute?"
I said, "Billy, something's wrong with my check. It's not the amount's not what it's been being when I work, for 2 weeks." And Billy looked at me and he said, "That's right." He said, "We had to cut your pay a little bit." And I said, "Excuse me?" And he said, "Yeah." He said, "I meant to get with you and tell you we had to cut your pay from this to this." And I said, "Okay." I said, "Okay." I said, "I would like to have known that in advance to see if I still wanted to continue doing this." And he said, "Well, I meant to tell you." And I said, "Okay." So then I went and talked to my boss that I directly reported to. And I said, "Do you understand this isn't right?" I said, if I were approached by Billy and Billy said, "Hey, we're going to do this," I might would have said, "Okay, I understand," and been okay with it and continued to do the show. I said, "But you understand now," I said, "that now this is the way I find it." I'm getting pissed off just sitting there telling the story.
Yeah, me too.
It's fair because you can't.
So the guy that I reported to, again, these folks are no longer there and have been gone for a period of time. He said, "I tell you what, this is the best part. I tell you what I can do. I tell you what I can do for you, Derick. I've got these circus tickets right here. I can give you a pair of circus tickets to go to the circus next weekend."
So the clown was trying to give you tickets to go see the clowns.
And I said, we'll call him Charlie. I said, "Charlie, thank you, but no thank you." And so I went home. I discussed it with my wife at the time, and I said, I can't do this.
Circus tickets?
I said, "I can't do this anymore." And she said, "I'm behind you 100%. This was at the time I was married. "I'm behind you 100%. I totally get it. As long as you've been there, I can't believe they did that to you." I said, "I can't either." I said, "I'm done." So I went and gave him my key, and he said, "Just keep it." I said, I'm giving you 2 weeks' notice," which was just 2 Saturdays. At the time, I was doing an air shift during the day. And I said, I'm giving you 2 weeks' notice. I said, "You can either take my 2 weeks' notice or I can give you the key now if you think I'm going to do something I shouldn't do on the radio." He said, "I trust you. If you'll leave the key on your last day, if you'll slide it under my door or whatever." I said, "Okay." So anyway, I did the show the next two Saturdays, and that was it. I got out of it, and then I got called back into it 2 years later by someone else. And anyway.
And you went out like a champ, too. You went out with class and didn't bash, didn't roll.
And to, again, I wouldn't even say that, but the folks, again, I wouldn't, if somebody saw me out in the street next, after this airs, I wouldn't reveal who the individuals were.
Right,
I mean, it's just out of respect. But that was what happened, and so that's why I left radio for 2 years.
Okay, well,
And that was about 2011,
2010-ish, somewhere in there. I may be off on my years, but so. Note to self, anybody out there that employs anybody, if you need to cut back in any way whatsoever on someone's salary or their hourly rate or whatever it may be, let them know that.
Yeah.
In advance.
Is that not illegal?
I don't know if it was or
Gotta
wasn't.
be, man.
And
There's got to be something. You
think,
can't just cut somebody's pay and not tell
forgive me
them.
for saying this, but I think it's just because I was such a nice guy, it was going to be one of those things where we'll just do it. He won't say anything about it. He may not even realize it. And if he does,
well, just tell him we meant to tell him.
Yeah,
he's been doing this forever, so he's not just going to quit.
Joke's on you.
Yeah.
So anyway.
I had to have been
Go
living
see your friends at the circus, you know?
Yeah, I had to have been
The
living
rest of
that
them
town.
clowns.
Whenever it was bad enough that my boss had told me that they cut my pay, but talk about a slap in the face when I go to my direct report, the guy that I directly report to, and I understand, man. Yeah, that does. I know. We should have told you. How about 2 fair tickets, or whatever it was,
2 circus tickets,
whatever it was. And I was like going, no, thank you, man. I was like going, all right. He slapped me on one side of my face. Why don't you just slap me on the other side?
Yeah. Speeding a little bit, whatever.
Dude, that pisses me off. I must have been living in Athens at the time.
I don't.
Been out there on a good run or something. Cause
But I was furious.
Well,
It takes a lot to get me, man.
I believe I've been trying to since we met. I ain't got you there yet. I'm trying to piss you
All
off.
right, and that wasn't part of it. That wasn't even one of our topics today. How do we?
See,
I know, but
look
it
at that
is
material.
though. But we had your name written down for Derick, right around a question mark. And we can always, like I said, you may not know beforehand, but once we get started, you're always a part of the conversation,
That's
Derick. And that's all we need,
We were going to
That's
force
all we
it
need,
today.
We was just going to sit here for 30, 40 minutes till you started talking, just looking at you, And you did great. That was, that's
crazy.
Yeah, it is a little crazy. But okay, so yeah. Did you just not have a 7th job for those 2 years?
Yes,
You just didn't do anything else? You didn't pick it up with nothing?
I think I was only working one job then.
Yeah, probably.
I think it was it, and then the radio on the side was what it was. Yeah,
Okay.
just because I enjoyed doing it.
Yeah. I mean, this is why I'm still here. I don't even get paid. Still here. Still coming. Relatively enjoy it for the most part. It's all right.
We do allow you one water every time.
That's true. I've gotten a couple waters since I've been over here. Not bad at all. Not bad at all.
I'm gonna call about this tree. Ooh. I'm coming. Coming. Butt crack plumbing. I'm looking for the tree service.
Yeah, that's what I meant. Timber tree service.
I was seeing if you could come look at a tree for me next week.
I might could squeeze you in, man. I think I can squeeze you in.
Poor Peyton. Don't get tricked like Peyton. Call someone you can trust, like Buckeye Preferred Services. Over 35 years in the industry of tree work and removal, they are cutting out your problems, and you can reach them at 478-484-2178 or 478-278-5574. Also, we have got our black t-shirts in stock if you would like one, or if you like the advertising that we just did and would like to learn how you can advertise on our channel, you can reach us at coffeeandcatchuppc at gmail.com. Now, back to the podcast.
Well, good, man. That was a pretty good story. Good job, Derick.
Oh gosh.
Good job, Derick, man.
I do have a question here.
Come on.
Fire away.
Did Brian tell you what happened to us this past week? Did he tell you about some scars that he and I both acquired one evening?
Oh, my God, he did.
Can you believe that?
I had no idea it was even that kind of situation over here.
Well,
I had no idea it was like the front lines.
I've already talked a lot, so I'm gonna pitch it to Brian to.
You might want to tell it, but I'll be glad to tell it. You're not gonna like my
you,
side of it so much.
I know. So you go ahead if you will, if you want to you want to share it, and I'll chime in at the end if anything.
That's true. I've never heard you tell this story with him present.
You're about to.
So
Maybe
yeah,
a little bit different now.
Because if you think I'm going to tell it any different than I told you,
and I don't want you to.
I'm not.
Want you to.
I'm not. So
It's good we're having this. I think this will be good for you and I to air it out.
Look,
Let's air
you've
it
got
out.
you've got a professional counselor here right now. We can just go ahead.
That's right.
Let's
Let's
air it
Just
out.
mend some fences.
Let's mediate this thing.
Yeah, let's see.
So Derick has 3 inside cats that periodically, once every how often need
30 days, once a month.
once a month
Really?
need a flea treatment.
It's not every quarter. Never mind. Go ahead. It's your case.
Once every month. So he's got, and I didn't tell you this part, and I'm gonna add this to it because this really is kind of, I guess, part of the story in my mind.
Okay.
So he's got this flea treatment. Now it don't come in a little bottle. You know what I'm saying?
It's the little triangle things, right?
Oh no. He's got them in these little syringe-looking things.
You don't get the one that's like you just cut the end off of it and squeeze it.
Oh no.
Lord have mercy.
No, they look like some syringes.
Sure.
So he gets his brother who's in recovery.
We're about to lose him right in a second there. He's already laughing too much.
Who's in recovery? Hey man,
Draw this up for me. Right?
it's already
I didn't even think about. Sorry, man.
it's already pulled up.
Derek.
So-
I'm the counselor. The time for apologies will come later.
So I'm
him
sitting here
talk.
thinking, all right, take one for the team, man. Just call your sponsor later. At least it ain't got a damn orange cap on it.
That's true. You know.
So I get said syringe, and he's like, all right, we're going to get him in here to feed him.
And there's no needle on it, right?
No needle on it.
It's
Thanks.
just the
No,
gel that goes on their back,
it's
on the
just,
shoulders?
you know, it's
Okay.
just the appearance of
Okay. Sure.
one of the tools that I'm very familiar
Still could be
with
very triggering,
in
yeah.
active addiction. And I'm
Absolutely.
like, it's my brother. I will do anything for my brother to live.
Oh, boy.
So I get it, man. And I've literally got it in my hand, but the way I'm holding is that I'm holding it out of reach for me to see it.
Okay.
You get what I'm saying?
Yeah, absolutely.
And he comes over, he's like, no, don't hold it like that. They're going to see it.
They gonna see it?
So they're going to know what you're doing.
'Cause
So I'm
they
thinking,
know.
I don't give a damn what them cats can see. I'm trying to keep myself together over here and not go into a full sweat.
Oh, I feel horrible.
You should, Derek.
So I'm like, all right, Derek. So I'll keep it from the cat. So he's like, this is what we're gonna do. This is why he is not the general of some military branch, because his game plan was, all right, whenever Sadie comes in, I'm gonna put her plate on the ground, and then I'm gonna grab her and I'm gonna pin her down, using the floor as like leverage, you know, and I'm gonna hold her down, and that's when you come in and you hit her right here behind the neck, just hit her,
And then rub it in.
and then rub it in. Okay. So he drops the plate. Part A of the game plan is executed. Part B was for him to grab her, secure her, and press her safely, gently, but forcefully,
Sure.
so that she could not retaliate,
Gently
move,
but
get away.
firmly.
Yes, gently but firmly.
Secure the target.
Secure the target. Get the subject, if you will, isolated, so that we can commence the attack. So instead of going with plan B of this,
Sure.
he grabs her, picks her up.
I forgot.
She is livid,
Well, she thought she was eating dinner.
flipping around, and he has the audacity
This is my favorite part.
to say, "Get her, Brian! Hit her with it, Brian!" I'm like, it's not a taser. It's not about.
He flies off the handle and he's just like, "Why aren't you doing something we didn't
And
discuss?"
she's flopping like this. And he's like, "What are you waiting on, man?" And I'm like, "Well, I'm trying to hit a moving target with a freaking syringe that I'm not comfortable holding." And I'm like, So I just pressed it on the back of her neck, and she flips around, bit me in the finger, and clawed me and clawed him. He's dripping blood. I dropped the syringe. I said some choice words. He lets her go. She runs off, and I'm just leaking.
I can just see Derick looking at you like, that didn't really go how I saw it going.
That is not how it was supposed to go down. That's about what he said. Dadgummit, that makes me so mad.
Derick.
And he goes, and the bad thing is we're trying to help her.
We just don't want you to have no fleas, girl.
We're trying to help you, baby.
Oh, my goodness. Derick, care to respond?
The only thing I really can add to that is, first of all, I never thought about the syringe thing. And when I go upstairs, I put them back in the cabinet so you don't have to look at them every day.
No, they don't bother me, man.
It's embellishment for the story.
I added that.
You can never let the truth ruin a good story.
So what I did was I had gone back there and put on a sweatshirt.
Yeah, he got protected.
Because I didn't want Brian.
Why do you have these kind of animals?
They just don't like going to the vet, and they don't like to get flea treated.
Not at all.
But the one of them, Tootsie, you can actually just pick her up, squirt her, rub it in.
Oh, yeah.
Give her a kiss on the mouth if you wanted to and set her back down. She's fine, but the other two, not so much. But
yeah, he did that one, Chris.
I'm sure he didn't need no help with that one.
He had
I'll handle Tootsie, Brian. Don't even worry about this one now.
This is what we're going to do
You've
with
done
Sadie.
enough.
This is
You've
what
done
we're going
enough,
to do
Brian.
with
I'll
Sadie.
handle Tootsie.
Hits Sadie, hits Tootsie with it like, this is what we're going to do to Sadie. And I'm like, actually, it's not.
Yeah. Sadie, you need like night vision goggles and like a scope on the sucker. You know what I mean?
So I put a sweatshirt on because I figured I was going to get clawed on my arms, not my hands. But anyway, so when it was all said and done, Brian was bleeding from his pinky finger, I think, from your thumb. I had scratches all on my hand, all on my wrist. And then I'm like going, I was just, it upset me. And I'm sitting here, upset me as in angered me. Because like Brian said, we were just trying to help her. And, and he and I are, and then Brian, what's funny is, and I'm glad we had this conversation now a few days later, Brian left like shortly after that, and I told him, I said, put some peroxide on it, make sure you keep doing that until it scabs up, whatever. And Brian left right after that.
No. Really?
All right, man, I'm out.
Stay around and chit chat.
I'm out. I'm going to go.
Share a cup of coffee and ketchup.
And I didn't. It didn't. None of it. I felt bad. Obviously, he got bit because I thought I was the one that was doing that was taking the risk.
Part, right?
Yeah, that was taking the risk. That's why I put on long sleeves. But anyway, I could tell Brian was pissed off, just like I was. And I think he felt like he needed to get away from me because he was so pissed off with Sadie. And the fact that I had picked her up, Brian's probably going, you blew it, the whole plan. You were supposed to pin her to the ground. And I didn't realize until you just said it that I did pick her up.
Yeah, you definitely had her in the air.
And why did I do that?
I have no idea. No idea.
I think that when I tried to get her to go to the ground that she bucked on that. And I should have just grabbed her by the back, and you know how they say you can paralyze them you grab them by the scruff, that you can paralyze them. Anyway, so in the comments, if anybody's got any suggestions on how to flea treat a cat that doesn't exactly like it,
and that can fight,
and that
that has a sick one too.
Yeah.
Got a nasty left hook.
I say all that. I wanted to bring it up because all three of them were down in the basement earlier, and I think. Early in the episode, you may be able to see Sadie, the one that attacked Brian and I.
Trying to get me from behind.
Yeah, she was clawing on the brick back there a while ago. But anyway, they're good cats. And she was being loving to me, and I'm sitting there going, I know you thought we were going to hurt you, or you felt threatened, so whatever. But now I know people are going, I ain't believe he's got cats. I wouldn't have one. I'd take that son of a bitch and go get it put down. Somebody going to make me bleed like that.
Well, that's my reaction. That's not quite my accent, but that's definitely my reaction.
You crazy as hell. I ain't believe you gonna do that.
I ain't no way I'd have a cat bite me like that. Baby, bring me another Budweiser. Them dang Falcons ain't scored in 2 quarters.
That old Ritter don't know what the hell he got going on.
Peyton talked last week, man. which was a great episode. I'm so glad we got to meet him and hang out with him. But Peyton talked last weekend about his wreck and how everything went into slow motion, and I can relate to that because when I got in my wreck with an 18-wheeler back in 2000 and whatever it was, went in slow motion too. And I've never really had that happen in my life where things go in slow motion. But when she turned and went to bite me, it was like. And I seen every bit of it, and I was like, no. Son of
Hey, and what? Forgive me. What? Whenever I had her up in the air, what?
I think that's the funniest. That's the funniest like thing in my mind is I'm just picturing
She was
Derick
flopping, dude.
like a cartoon or something, just like fighting.
She was
fighting with this cat
She was fighting.
and just hollering at you, talking about,
What are you doing, man? What are you doing?
Brian's going, why the hell you hollering at me? I'm trying to do it.
Hey, if I had it to do over again, I swear this is what I would have done. 100%. And y'all know, if y'all know me, y'all know how much I love my brother. But if that had happened again, and say you're Derick because you're closest to me, and you got, say, your arms fighting you, and he goes, get it, Brian, I'd have went. I'd have flea treated your ass.
Oh, you mean the cat, not you? Oh, damn, you meant the cat. Get in the cat's shoulder blades, Derick. I'm sorry.
That's the only one of you two that was still enough for me to get a shot
Well,
on.
let me say this. I apologize. That really went awry.
It was-
and
hey,
it went
bro.
awry very quickly.
It was fine. It was fine.
Not fine.
I didn't. When I left, I didn't go eat anything because I'd already gotten a 2-piece. I wasn't hungry.
Hey, if you will, put a note in your phone. We need to get Maggie tonight.
Round
heard
two,
it, Chris.
fight.
We're going to have Chris video it, too.
Oh, my God.
Man alive.
I'm not getting.
dude.
I'm not being nowhere near them cats.
Man alive.
Okay.
All right, I got to tell y'all what I did on Lawrence County Info.
All right, let's hit the info. Here we are, back again to an info episode.
So, like, I got a.
Y'all got to start reporting this guy. He'll never stop. You got to get him blocked. Got to get him banned from.
So I didn't actually see this one. This one didn't come across to where I saw it first, but someone tagged me in it. Go figure.
Yeah, it's so bad.
And the comment or the actual post is, I have a question for anyone that might be a mechanic.
He's not.
So that's what got my friend's attention and made him think about me. That can maybe help with some answers. I have a 2014 Chevy Silverado 1500, 5.3 liter engine. One of the spark plugs came out, but now can't get the new one to thread back in. Wanted to know what's going on with it, whatever. So when he tagged me in it, my thought was, I gotta come up with a good answer. So this is what I did. This is my answer. Sounds like the old one broke off in the block. They need to check to see if there's anything in the hole. If so, they need to go purchase an extractor bit. It looks like a weird drill bit, but there's a bunch of spiral lines on it. If not, the threads are probably ruined and they need to get the rethreading kit. It's common on any Chevy from about 09 to 17, especially the Silverados.
That sounds.
Where did you get that?
That's my answer.
That's a great answer.
Sounds
Thanks, man.
accurate.
Where did
Thanks.
you get? Where did you get that? That's a great answer.
See, my friend.
As soon as you said it sounds like it might have broke off in the block, I was like, wait a
Yeah.
minute.
Yeah.
Wait a
And
minute.
y'all say I don't know what I'm talking
You
about.
don't. You don't.
Did you?
You just said that's great answer.
Someone told you, or you giggled, or
I didn't
something.
I didn't Google it.
Was it in that book that you had
It
back
wasn't-
when you were
it
a
wasn't-
kid?
It wasn't in the book. So as he tagged me in it, and I'm like, I've got to get a good answer. I peeked at the answer below him, and this guy's answer is, sounds like the old one broke off in
Oh
the
my
block.
God! Did you copy
No.
and paste somebody else's answer?
Check this.
No, you did
Check
not.
Check to see if there's anything in the hole. If so, you need an extractor bit. Looks like a weird drill bit, but a bunch of spiral lines on it. I copied it, and then I pasted it, and I added just a little to make it mine.
That's not plagiarizing, is it?
I
100% plagiarized.
I added the part about it's real common with any Chevy from 09 to 17, especially the Silverados. Wow. But that even sounded believable after I had all that messed up.
Yeah,
after
you did the
That is
funny.
good.
Yeah, I was hoping that the one that actually knew what he was talking about, that came up with that answer, would see that and get a kick out of it, but they haven't.
That was impressive.
Someone did ask the other day on Lawrence County Info. They said, "Is Dublin doing a fair this year?" And my response was, "I'm so glad, because if they weren't, that was going to be no fair."
That would be no fair. That is exactly what that would be.
And Brian, what do I always tell you when you send those to Chris and I via? What do I always reply with?
Stupid.
You are so stupid.
Stupid.
I'm usually expletive idiot.
Yeah, that is true. That is true. So, wrapping it up, I have got to ask you, were you watching?
Oh, I was. You best believe it.
I was not, but I want to know, kind of like, take me through what happened.
So I'm
point.
I'm actually playing games with Keith at this point in time. You know,
Keith,
it's
what's up, man?
11 or so, and I'm playing the games with Keith, and I just I'm joining into a game where him and his friend are already playing. Mm-hmm. So like I'm letting the dogs out. I got my headset on, and they, for some reason, Miami didn't take a knee. They
Do you
decided
know
to
why?
run. I don't.
So
I was not
for
in
those
it.
that don't know, in all seriousness, I thought for some reason you thought your arm looked big, so you were flexing.
My arm does look big.
You were flexing.
We paid extra for the camera to make it do
So
that.
he's
This
talking
is a
about
Yellow Jacket.
the Georgia Tech Yellow Jacket.
Yeah,
I am not a Georgia fan. I am a Georgia
Okay.
Tech fan.
So now, because some people are sitting there going, "What in the world is he talking
Yeah,
about?"
yeah.
That's true. That's a good point.
Buzz,
Georgia
if you
Tech
will.
beat Miami last night. Number 17 ranked Miami. Great. But
In Miami.
In Miami.
Yeah,
Yeah,
in
on
Miami.
the road. On the road. So, anyways, and I'm it's towards the last few minutes. I wasn't really watching. I was trying to get on the game with Keith. I was talking with him and his buddy while they were finishing up a game. You know, so I'm kind of in and out. I've let the dogs out and all that kind of stuff. And I see that it's getting down to like within the last minute. I'm not really sure why they didn't take a knee and try to just to run the game out, because it was what, 20-17.
20-17. Miami had the ball.
Yeah.
Georgia Tech had no timeouts.
No.
I'm not sure what down it was, but that really wouldn't have mattered because it was.
Because we got the ball back with like 30-ish seconds left. At the fumble.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So we got no timeouts. They choose to run it instead of taking a knee.
Because taking a knee at that moment with 30-something, that's the end of the game.
Unless it's fourth down and it's going to be, but you're not going to run it. Like I said, I have to go back and watch it.
It wasn't fourth down.
Yeah, because they fumbled it and gave it to the ball back with about 30 seconds left. So they do that, and we're not in like super good field position. Because I think the last
No, bro.
about
It
40
was
maybe.
Miami had the ball on Georgia Tech's 35-40.
Yeah,
And he ran it maybe 7 yards
and fumbled it.
and fumbled it. I think it was 74 yards.
Because we had to go a long way.
74 yards.
We had to go a long way. And
No timeouts.
Even then, no timeouts, 30 seconds. Even then, I'm still just like, well, you know, they messed up. But, like, what are we going to do? You know what I mean? Like, realistically, what are we going to do? And then he makes the first pass. And he gets it
And
on
then he
down
clocked
there.
it.
And then they clock it. You know what I'm saying? And now we've got, like, we just crossed the 50. You know what I mean? Maybe 45, 40-ish yards left or whatever. 10 seconds, I think.
10.
And even then, I'm again, I remember I let the dogs out. I hook the dogs up to the chain. They go out. And I turn around. And the ball's in the air. And old buddy catches it on like the 7-yard line.
Yeah.
Stutter steps a little bit and goes and gets into the end zone with 2 seconds left. And I can't say it on air, but I'm on the headset with my brother and his friend, and I was just like, holy.
Yeah, I tell you,
I just stood there looking at the TV like, what? I'm like, no way. They did complete the
And
pass.
the kid's rolling out right out of the pocket.
Yeah.
And it was
It's like
the way he
cross.
threw it. It wasn't a lob, but it wasn't a bullet. It was just enough of a touch pass to go over the defenders, which there was like 3 of them.
Yeah, because they're just trying to make sure
They're just trying. Yeah, but they did not keep the receiver in front of them.
he did.
Which
He
was
beat
their
the-
mistake.
he beat the safety back.
I think he outran 3 of them that were on
Yeah.
his tail right there.
Yeah.
I was blown away.
Yeah, it's just you couldn't. It was very cool. Like I said, that especially coming off of a loss to Bowling Green.
Yeah, that's tough.
You know,
That's
dude,
tough.
if we'd have won that game, we would be 4-2 right now with a loss to Ole Miss and Louisville.
Louisville, yeah.
You know?
And Louisville's undefeated, maybe.
I don't know. Did they win yesterday? I know they had a tough game yesterday, but anyways, those are both very
Yeah.
good teams, and
Yeah.
that's a much better looking season.
Yes.
See, without a loss to Bowling Green, you could make the argument that we put up a good fight against Louisville,
Yeah.
which we did.
You did.
And we didn't really do that well against Ole Miss, but that's a relatively good team as well. You make the argument to start maybe hitting that 25th spot.
Oh, for
you know
sure.
what I mean?
Yeah,
4-2,
Yeah.
knocking out Miami. You make to at least look at a ranking.
Yeah.
But even now though, with losing to Bowling Green and being 3-3,
Yeah,
even
that-
with
that-
yesterday's
yeah.
win, you're just not.
Yeah.
You're not even in question of hitting the top 25.
Yeah.
But anyway, hey man, they're starting to look better. I know after losing to Bowling Green, the defensive coordinator got sacked, or he got demoted to safety.
Equipment manager.
No, not quite right. But I think he's the safeties coach now, and the safeties coach is now, or maybe it's they moved some people around. We have a new defensive coordinator. For yesterday's game, and he, obviously, we did all right. Held Miami to 20 points. you know.
Yeah. Miami was
Held them to no points
undefeated
through the first
or one
quarter.
loss.
No, they were 4-0. They'd already had their bye, but they were 4-0 coming into last night, and we were 2-3.
Hey man, great win for the program, but fans can be delusional. I did see a post this morning from a Georgia Tech fan said we're ready for Georgia.
I had been up a long time.
Let's don't
when
get
I
ahead of
read that.
ourselves.
No, absolutely not. We are not ready for no.
Bring on the Padres. Derick, we tell you what we're doing tomorrow. Actually, will be today. Going to Atlanta.
Wow, we're in the car when this comes out.
Yeah, we'll probably be heading up. I'm sure. Yeah, so we can get up there on a good time and get in line at State Farm Arena. Hopefully towards the front of the line. General admission tickets we have tomorrow for
Vibrate.
an open practice.
Are you finna fart again?
Go ahead.
Supposed to have an opportunity for an audition at a half court shot tomorrow.
That's awesome.
You two are going?
Yeah. Yep. And I got to get with Ben, man. I got to call Ben today and see how I need to approach this shot. Our basketball international superstar friend, Ben
Is
Smith.
there coaching involved in a half court shot?
Well, there's different ways to take it. You
To
know what I'm
approach
saying?
it.
To approach it. Do
Gotcha,
I put my body weight into it? Do I shoot it? Do I shoot it like a logo 3? Do I get run and jump? What's the most? Do I two-handed?
You've been working out. You could probably hit it like a logo 3.
I was thinking that maybe.
You could probably get it there.
I wish.
Logo 3?
Yeah.
Yeah, so you're not really like running up and kind of Hail Marying it. A logo 3 is
A logo 3 is the logos at the half court, and so when you're far back enough where your feet are touching the logo.
But you're still
Totally
hitting
get
it
it.
like a shot. You're setting,
Yeah.
and you're putting your arm and body strength into shooting it from that distance.
I got
Where
you.
most of the time, if you see a fan take a half court shot, they're like baseball chunking it,
Momentum
which
chunking.
is it's a way that you got to get the ball there, which is not close. But I think your brother could take that shot. I think he could logo 3 it.
I do too.
I think
I'm
he's
gonna
got
try.
the arm. I think he's got the body to get it there.
Yeah.
I'm gonna try.
Yeah. Agree.
I think apparently if I'm close enough tomorrow night or however they
To make it
select
interesting.
to make it interesting, which me, man, if they give me that shot tomorrow night, I'm going to pretend the stands are full. I'm going to be hyping everyone up.
You're definitely a good candidate because it would make for good halftime.
And that's what they want. They don't want someone up there that's shy, that's nervous. I'm going to be nervous as all get out, but I'm not going to let it show. We'll have a good time, man. I'm going to get
the
to be.
real question is
gonna get
if
to be on the
you
floor.
you win the audition. You and I were there, game whatever of the season, and we're there, and we get bumped up, dude. We got like great seats because you're about to take this
Yeah,
shot. You know what I mean?
definitely they'll get.
And I think
yeah.
it's a $10,000 shot. He already said I'm gonna get it.
10,000.
He's already said I can have it. We're gonna fix the Subaru. But anyway, so we're there, and you're selected. We're about to hit the court to take that shot. Are you in a jersey?
Yeah.
Are you in a coffee and ketchup shirt? Are you in that new black coffee and ketchup?
I'm
Soon to be hitting stores this week.
I'm in a black coffee and ketchup T-shirt with DeJounte Murray's number 5 jersey over it, and I pull it up
And
to hype the
makes
crowd.
the shot and then shows it.
to hype the crowd before the shot.
Okay. I wonder where it was going to come in. Do we get the press there? You know, do we get
Of course. You know,
do we get him?
And then I have a business card with our QR code on it. As I'm leaving the court, I run off from the security, and I go over to the Hawks bench and lay one on the bench where he sits next to Trey. I'll have you both on or just one of you. Get with me.
And then Brian and I are never allowed at State Farm again.
And then
You're
I'm
on
calling
the
Derick.
list.
I'm calling Derick. You have a collect call from Fulton County.
Yeah. I may not even be there for the thing tomorrow because if the Braves lose again, I will walk from State Farm to Truist Park, and I will lose it.
That's a walk too, dude.
I will lose it, bro. I'll Uber.
Yeah, so good times, man, coming up.
Yeah, it should be fun tomorrow. Looking forward to it. Not being at work. Nice. I always love days off of work.
Derek, thank you for your input today, man.
Great
I
episode.
try to give y'all what I
man.
can.
You did a great job.
I try to
fantastic.
give y'all what I can.
It only
Just
took you
great. That
17.
cat keeps on making me nervous. Keeps on moving like behind the TV and the computer, and I just like see it. It's just like get away from the cords. Well, anybody else got anything? We had a little snafu hiccup with the shirts, but don't worry, they are on the way. We're gonna get them to you. I know a couple people have already said they want one. We're gonna get them. We're going to get them. Also, if you made it this far and if you're listening now, we are looking at maybe setting up an Etsy storefront to where we can automate white T-shirts, black T-shirts, and coffee mugs to where you could go to our Etsy store and buy them specifically from there. Before I do it, I was going to see if anybody would be interested in buying merchandise from us like that. Let us know down in the comments what you think about it.
What's a Betsy store?
Let us know down in the comments what you think about that.
I've never heard of her.
Neither has anybody else, because that's not a real thing. Betsy's a cow, not a store.
You have to tell me when we get off.
We'll let you in on the secret.
We'll pull it up, Derek.
We'll show you what
pull
we're
it up.
talking about. Anyways, man.
Hey, got a new table on the way, too.
Like it's been bought?
No, and we got the plans drawn
It's
up.
being fabricated.
Oh, we got plans drawn up?
Got the plans drawn up.
Fantastic.
Yep.
We're looking forward to it. It's
Yep,
going to be
so,
awesome.
yep,
Awesome.
Maybe the 1st to middle of November we'll have a podcast table.
We are going to be looking professional.
Have a meeting the middle of next week with a potential sponsor that's looking at doing some advertising with us. Want to get that's seen us on Channel 13 WMAZ. Again, we love you so much, Celine. You are our hero.
Yes.
So we appreciate your support as always.
Yeah.
These people found us on the story that she did, and get to sit down with them on Wednesday night and see what we can get worked out.
Big things happening, big things coming.
Yeah.
Thank you for all your support. Again, be sure to like, comment, subscribe. Don't miss any of the content we continue to put out. We just keep growing and growing, and it's all thanks to y'all, and we greatly appreciate it. But with that, if nobody's got anything else, we will go ahead and see you later, and we'll catch y'all in the next one. Peace.